Welcome to English Odyssey, where every story teaches a lesson and every word builds your future. Today, we take you on a journey of healing, courage, and change, all through the powerful act of forgiveness. This is not just a lesson in language, it's a lesson in life. So sit back, listen closely, and let this voiceover story open your heart. Remember, every word you hear is not just for your ears, it's for your soul. Paragraph 1. The pain that stayed. There was once a boy named Leo who lived in a quiet town surrounded by trees, rivers, and peaceful skies. On the outside, his life looked perfect: good grades, loving parents, and a circle of friends. But inside, Leo was drowning. Years ago, someone he trusted hurt him deeply. His best friend Ben had lied about something small, but the lie spiraled into betrayal. Rumors spread, trust was shattered. And just like that, Leo's world changed. The betrayal became a wound, invisible but raw. He stopped trusting people. He stopped opening up. Even when people tried to love him, he built walls higher than anyone could climb. He carried the hurt into every room he'd walked into. School was a place of silence. Home was a place of numbness. Joy became a memory. He often told himself, if I forgive, they win. If I let go, I lose control. So the pain stayed. It became a part of him, like a stone in his pocket, always there, weighing him down. Years passed. Leo grew taller, older, smarter. But inside, the boy who got hurt never moved on. The pain froze that part of his heart. And no matter what success he achieved, there was always a shadow behind his smile. A part of him was always looking back, unable to move forward. Paragraph 2. A lesson in the rain. One rainy afternoon, Leo was walking home from the library, his books pressed against his chest. He was lost in thought, just like always. The sky cried above him, and he didn't bother with an umbrella. Then he saw him, an old man sitting on a bench, soaking wet, under a torn umbrella. Something about the man felt familiar. Tired eyes, gentle smile. Leo stopped. "Want a share?" he asked, lifting his umbrella. The man nodded silently. They walked together. For a long time, there was no sound except the rain. Then the old man spoke. "You carry something heavy, don't you?" Leo flinched. "You don't know me," he said. The man replied, "I don't need to. I see the same shadow in your eyes that I once had in mine." Leo said nothing. The man continued, "I spent 30 years angry at my brother. We didn't speak. And do you know what I lost? Not just a brother. I lost peace, joy, myself. Until one day I realized forgiveness wasn't for him. It was for me. And in forgiving him, I came back to life." Leo couldn't sleep that night. The old man's words echoed in his mind. Forgiveness is freedom. He tossed, he turned. The next morning, he searched for the man at the park. But he was gone. It was as if he had been a messenger, a symbol, a sign. Leo went home and stared at the mirror. "What if I forgive?" he whispered. For the first time, the thought didn't feel like defeat. It felt like relief. Paragraph 3. Writing the letter. That evening, Leo sat at his desk with a blank sheet of paper. He stared at it for a long time before writing the first word. Dear Ben. It was the hardest letter he had ever written. The pen trembled in his hand. At first, it was anger, raw and sharp. But as he wrote, his heart softened. Memories came flooding back. The times they built sandcastles, played video games, whispered secrets at night. He remembered the loyalty, the laughs, the brotherhood. And then the lie. The silence, the betrayal. He wrote it all, his pain, his confusion, his sorrow. But then came the line he never thought he'd write. I forgive you, not because you asked, not because you deserve it, but because I deserve peace. Tears blurred the ink, but they weren't just tears of pain, they were tears of release. It felt like breathing after years underwater. Leo didn't send the letter. He folded it and placed it in a box. But something inside him had shifted. He had taken the first step toward healing. And for the first time in years, he felt proud of himself. He began writing more letters, one to his father, who was always too busy, one to his teacher, who had humiliated him in front of the class, and most importantly, one to himself. I forgive you, he wrote, for being silent, for holding pain, for not knowing better. That letter changed everything, because forgiving others was powerful, but forgiving himself, that was transformational. Paragraph 4, the mirror of forgiveness. From that moment, Leo's world began to bloom. He smiled more, laughed more, connected more. People noticed. You look different, they said. But it wasn't just his face, it was his energy, his spirit. He started sharing his story with others, quietly at first, then openly. He gave a talk at school titled The Power of Forgiveness. Students cried, teachers listened. Even Ben, the friend who hurt him, sat in the back. Their eyes met. No words were spoken, but something passed between them, not just forgiveness, but understanding. Leo started a weekly group at school, Heal and Speak. Students came. They wrote letters, told their stories, found their voices. Forgiveness became more than an idea. It became a practice, a ritual, a revolution. Leo was no longer just a boy who had been hurt. He had become a healer, a leader, a light. Forgiveness became a mirror he looked into every day. And each time he saw less pain and more strength, less past, more future. It didn't erase what happened, but it allowed him to write a new ending. Paragraph 5. Your turn to let go. Now it's your turn. Maybe you're holding pain. Maybe someone betrayed your trust. Maybe life gave you scars you didn't deserve. But listen closely. Forgiveness doesn't mean they were right. It means you're ready to be free, ready to stop drinking poison, ready to reclaim your light. You don't have to forgive everything today. Just start. Write a letter. Say a prayer. Whisper their name and release it into the wind. Forgive others, forgive yourself, because you deserve peace. You deserve love. You deserve to move forward without the weight of yesterday. Forgiveness is not weakness. It is the greatest strength of all. The world will still hurt, but you will heal faster. You will rise higher. And like Leo, you will find your purpose in your pain. The wound may always be there, but it no longer controls you. You are not the pain. You are the power to forgive it. So breathe, release, begin again. Thank you for listening to this powerful story on English Odyssey. If this touched your heart, please share it with someone who needs healing. Leave a comment, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss a story that inspires and transforms. This is English Odyssey, where language becomes a light and every story guides you home.